Where are you from?
So, by American standard, I'm from Atlanta. Shout out to Amaretta. But, of course, by my blood, I am from the motherland.
Okay.
Africa, Nigeria.
All right. What part of Nigeria are you from?
This is a really interesting question because my mom and dad are from two different states. So typically people say I'm with the Igbo tribe or I'm with the Yoruba tribe, but it was Benin City and then a whole other state. So it's a fusion. I guess the more predominant popular state is Benin. Our sculptures are in the High Museum right now, so I'm gonna claim that because everybody knows it.
Oh, on the second floor?
Whatever floor has the bronze ladies with their necks. Rings,
Yeah. What?
So.
Okay. And so what was your early life like? Did you grow up in Nigeria or did you grow up in the U.S.?
So it was really a fusion of both. Some years I would be raised in Nigeria, and then other years I'd be raised here. It was like a zebra of years, if that makes sense. Back and forth, so it was really interesting, honestly.
And so how did moving back and forth from America to Nigeria, how did that inform your perspective on the world?
Man, inform? That's a good word.
Oh,
that's a good word.
Sorry.
No, that's a good word. I want to say it definitely sharpened me, because it was kind of hard. You're here and then they find out you're from somewhere else. Oh, this and that is so different. And then you're there, it's the same thing. So it was I couldn't fit in anywhere. Yeah, nowhere.
No home type,
There was nowhere I could call this is home. They get me.
And so even in Nigeria, they made you feel different?
Even in Nigeria. And I'm Nigerian by blood. I came from here. I'm over there with an accent and a different color skin for the most, because it's hot over there.
Yeah.
The equator is hitting Nigeria directly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are bleaching and all that. If you're not yellow, if you're not yellow, you dark skin. So it was everything just different. This is the American kid. So it was hard in both places. I'm not gonna lie. But
go ahead.
No, but you said inform. It definitely sharpened me. Made me realize okay, instead of crying about not fitting in, let me compare the two. They roast over there, they roast over here. They gossip over here. They have flirting pickup lines. They do the same thing. It's just different ways, different tongues, but it's the same thing, same cultural standard over there. So
yeah. What was a typical day like for you in Nigeria? Describe that international experience to our viewers.
This guy got me going back.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good. I'm excited because nobody asked me these questions. The typical day in Nigeria was, you ever seen Phineas and Ferb? It was what are we about to do today? Because you got to think about it. I was 10, 11. This is before I was going to boarding school in Nigeria. And they're big on that. That's the normal thing over there.
Okay.
But if I wasn't in school, a typical day is man, let's go find some wood, nails, and let's go make something. And I'm the oldest son of my, 4 siblings. I'm the oldest boy. So I'd get my 2 younger brothers and we'd start creating stuff. It was like Phineas and Ferb. It was a big adventure every day. So, yeah.
Were you an artistic child?
Of course.
What were you involved in?
Do you mean artistic systematically, socially, or just personally in my home?
It could be artistic as, not autistic, artistic.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. Artistic, my mom wasn't too supportive of us being artist types, because you got to understand, Nigeria is really strict on careers, and the tangible kinds too. They don't really believe in the whole chasing your dream thing. So as an artistic child, it was kind of hard. I've always been an artistic kid. I loved creation. So You know, like I've always been that, but it wasn't always approved and welcomed everywhere I went, especially in my own hometown in Nigeria. You know, so, but I've always been an artistic child.
Do you come from an artistic family? Even though like they don't approve of it professionally, did they partake in the arts?
So, I was sneaking around my dad's room one day, and my he's passed away, you know, R.I.P. But I saw some sketches, some really nice sketches, and I've never heard about this, I never seen it. But I was a kid sneaking around, and I saw some nice architectural, you know, sketches. Like, wow, like, so there is art in this family. So pretty much, my mom used to sing in college, but just for fun, you know. But professionally now, it's like there's so many opportunities to not be an artist. You know.
So at what point did you decide to do music professionally?
Believe it or not, a little over a year ago.
Okay.
In October, specifically October 14th, 2021. That was my first official release. And I've been writing and making beats for years, but that was my first, like, all right, let's do this. You know, so.
And what prompted you to start taking it serious now?
Competition. I love competition. I love comparing. I love contrasting. I love debates. I really love debates. I love, oh man, that album is, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, this instrumental. Nah, he's more melodic. So like, I started seeing like, yo, I can do this. And not even just like a peer thing. Like, oh, everybody I know is rapping, let me rap. It was more so like, I've heard myself rap. I've heard myself sing. And I've heard myself make beats. This is a joke. Like, let me jump in the circle. Let me whoop the ass. Like, what is this? Like, I love competition. I love it. So that's pretty much what made me like, let me take this shit seriously. I got a whole vision, a whole brand, and I'm out here making SoundCloud drops. Like, so.
What was your peers' reaction to your first release? Or that particular release?
So, everybody around me was making music for years, right? And I used to ask people, like, I know a guy named Young Nepo, I know another guy named Paradox. One time they were in my house, and I was like, this was like 2019. Yo, why y'all make music? Oh, for fun. I'm like, y'all don't want to blow up. And I mean, if it does. And I'm like, what the? So I was kind of confused. Like, these people around me just making music just to make it, just to hear themselves. So their reaction was more so like, you make music? Because it's like, and it wasn't even just like I made music or something, I freestyle. I came in with the whole concept. My first drop, it was called Outspoken, but it was a demo. So I make it relate to myself. I'm a pretty outspoken person. So why not go with the theme? I dropped it, and I let it be available on all platforms for everybody to listen to. And it was such a blessing, because the first day I dropped it, the moment I dropped it, I was already cool with like Zaytoven's people, and they let me perform that drop. And I had a crowd of like 20, 30 people turning up. I'm like, wow. So they reacted very positively. My first drop, like, you know, it's typically like 2 likes, 3 likes on your post, but man, people really liked it. They were like surprised. So.
Have you experienced any challenges in your music career?
Of course, definitely. I mean, you wondering what kind of challenges?
Yeah, what would you say is the most prominent challenge?
Pessimism.
From on your end or other people?
Other people.
Oh,
I think some of the viewers are gonna laugh when they they're gonna laugh when they hear that. Pessimism. I cannot stress this. This is not like, this is an uncanny career. This is a nonsensible career. A logical person would not try to make money or a living off of making music. So if you're even slightly pessimistic, this is not the path for you. You do not need to be a musician. You need to have an almost unrealistic, abundant amount of optimism. And I'm not saying don't be realistic. Give yourself deadlines, give yourself numbers, give yourself dates. But if you're pessimistic, I need you to just don't even pray it away, do something. But that's the biggest challenge I face in this career, and not only in music but in my life. You know,
So what are some of the things that you're experiencing to make you feel that pessimism or that energy of pessimism?
So people talk, but that's just talk, right? They're not hurting you, they're not stopping you. But then people gossip, and people try to prevent and not be inclusive and try to negate. So like breaking that down more so, you didn't even have to just, like all you had to do was say the word, and I can tell that people blow you off and say, oh, you're a hater, but not. It's more than hate sometimes. Sometimes it's like an envy, right? And I know people are going to be like, oh, here he go with this envy. Oh, here you go. But you got to really understand, if someone has a bright light and it's shining, maybe it's blinding some others, So that's a challenge for a reason. Maybe they're testing you to see if you really are optimistic and you would overcome, like, oh, you can't make it. Oh, that's not realistic, So that's what I would say, like, as far as just everything else. It's not just, oh, that shit sucks, or your music is ass. It's not just subjection. It's like everything else. Like people trying not to help you or not referring you when they can, or, so.
Do you think that's something that is like synonymous of the underground, or do you feel like once you move into that next plateau, do you feel like you will still experience that?
No.
Because I usually don't listen to our guests before because I want it to be like totally raw, like I don't know them at all. But I listened to one of your songs and you actually got a mainstream kind of sound.
Oh.
Do they say that?
I take that as a compliment. But synonymous, it's not. The pessimistic lifestyle is definitely not. And hear me when I say it's not synonymous. Because everybody in the underground, from what I've seen, because you got to think about it. I started with Zaytoven's people. Yeah. I started off the gate, mainstream affiliates. Waka Flocka's coming in where I'm performing. Like, I'm seeing people that we didn't heard in the club. So the underground, you don't know none of these people. But they're still doing it. They're still coming out to shows every day, every weekend, like still paying for slots, like living that life day to day, taking whatever drugs, even though I don't promote that. It's like just living that raw, like, And then every time I see somebody, I go to a show, oh, Bullet, oh, what's up, Bulletproof? Like they're very warm and welcoming. And regardless of the drama and whatever else happens in the underground, I haven't experienced pessimism from one person, whether they're running the show or participating in it. Every event, oh, Bullet, oh, like this warm welcome. I don't know if it's just me and my image or the way I carry myself, but I've never gotten like oh, nah, your brand is unrealistic. I don't really get the whole theme. Let me not. They've all been like, so it's definitely not synonymous. I wouldn't say.
Okay. What's been the most memorable moment of your career so far?
So far, in a year and a month?
Yeah.
In a year and 2 months?
What memories have you made?
I gotta think about this one, like, more so like impactful, maybe?
Yeah, like impactful, yeah. What made you feel like, yo, I'm here, like I'm doing it?
Okay. It was a downfall. So, as you know, when you do anything business-wise, creative-wise, it's an exponential growth. It's never linear. It's slow, steady, but then when it spikes, it takes that huge. So I was, my first show, 20 people. My next show, like 25. But then the show after that, it was like 50 pre-sales. It was like, we still got people coming from different states talking about, hey, bro, I missed you the last one. I gotta pull up. But then that night, I was under somebody. I was not fully autonomous of the venue and everything going on. I just paid for a slot. And I'm in the slot of this showcase style thing, so it's up to somebody else to make this really work. And that night, the venue didn't allow 21 plus people. 21, they didn't allow, if you weren't 21 and up, you weren't allowed in the building. And a lot of my fans and my people on the lineup's fans were in college. our money's coming from all these kids all over the place. But I'm in the room like, wow, like it was such a heartbreaking moment. And I had to save the day and migrate to the parking lot of actually down the street. We used that parking lot. We almost got fined. But we rocked out that night, and I was so depressed after that show. We had to rock out, push through, but I was so sad. And the show was called The Ascension. You see how much potential, like I was gathering shows, people, interest. Then boom, one of the biggest shows that would have took us to the next level crashed. And people were still outside for us. People were still outside. It was like about 40 outside still, helping us out. And I was so sad, but I still saw like, wow, that was really impactful because I realized so many things, and I still had a good time. I still experienced the true raw love of your fans. Leaving one setting to a whole nother city, a whole nother setting, just to get that show still going. People hugging me on the shoulder like, yo, I know this is in the stage, but if you was charging 100, I'd still come out. Man, I almost cried. I was like, damn. I was like, wow, like we just fumbled, So like that moment was my most like impactful moment. Like it really taught me like, if I'm gonna go hard, I'm gonna do it properly next time. And the next show was a banger. The next show was like
crazy.
Like I jumped in the air and it caught me. Like it was the next show was amazing. So that right there, the downfall, the show, the ascension, that was the one that did it for me. So yeah.
Has your music career caused any conflicts in your personal life?
I want to say yes, because believe it or not, business is still personal. Believe it or not. I've met a lot of associates, and it feels like friends, but I know my place, and they should know theirs. So personally, people look at you through all the Bulletproof persona, through the moniker, through the music. People look at you still, even as associates. And it's been challenging. Financially, not so much. Time-wise, not so much. My jobs have always worked with the fact that everywhere I went, whatever job I had, oh, you're famous. Oh, they treated me like, oh, the rapper, look. Even the general managers of my jobs would be like, oh, look, he makes music. Oh, Saturday, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would ask for a Saturday off if I have a show. I'd ask for a Thursday off. Like, they respected my career pretty much. But as far as, like, personally, yes, it definitely has affected my personal life. Like people, like I started really seeing who's envious of the way I think and who likes to antagonize. It was really like people, it was really a social challenge more so than like a financial or a moral or anything like that, so.
And so do you feel, so you said that they antagonize the way that you think. So do you feel like when you like voice some of your thoughts that you weren't receiving the sort of, response that you wanted back?
I will say response that I wanted back, it's an interesting way to put that, because I didn't really want, people might not believe this, but I don't really want a specific response from people. I don't expect anything. I'm not taught to expect things. So it's just, if your response is not optimistic, I'll take it with a grain of salt, But it was more so like people don't, I guess it's fear. And I fear nothing. I fear no one. I fear nothing. So it's like when people antagonize or they say things and do things to swerve away from whatever bright light or whatever opportunity, it's rooted from fear, causing insecurity, causing doubt, and it's just a big snowball. So that's more so the challenge, like it was just that, like I have an idea or something or a proposal and it's negated because of the lack of understanding or the lack of vision for this opportunity to be executed. Oh, like I want 100 people for this next music video. Oh man, 100? Well, that's kind of a lot. I know that.
Before trying.
I know that. I know it's a lot, but can you do it though? Did it happen before? I've been told so many no's and so many things, and what happened in the next second? So completely the opposite. A great turnout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely what it was. It was just that fear, that like projection that people have. It doesn't faze me. So.
Are you independent or signed to a label?
So this conversation has caused so many debates. I'm definitely independent currently. I do all my uploads. I'm a certified graphic designer. So I do my graphics. I have photo shoots. I've propped the camera up and taken stills of myself. I'm a videographer. I'm a fashion designer. I do all this stuff. I even thought of the concept. So it's like, I'm definitely independent, you know, but I would like to be signed for particular deals or, you know, just do contracts here and there. So I don't mind.
Like distro type stuff?
Distribution deals, of course. Publishing, yeah. Like, I'm okay with a good deal. But as far as like signed and changing an image and saying what you can't say and sound bites and all that kind of stuff, I'm not with. My whole idea, my whole thing is like,
we're gonna get into that.
yeah, it's anti, you know, so.
Okay, but I still want to dig deep in on the label just to kind of show the people how you think. So as far as, you know, not wanting to sign with a label, is it because you have like you're fiercely entrepreneurial, you're fiercely independent? Like, where did this particular want to be independent, like where did that stem from?
Environment. Information. And truly it might be ignorance, but my environment, my influence. Oh, the labels do this, labels do that. But then over time, I'm doing study, I'm researching, reading articles, watching videos. Some artists are lazy. They get signed, blow that money. I'm like,
give me the 500.
Feed the fam, feed the hood. You don't understand, Mike.
Wait, bro, wait. So you're not feeding the hood?
You feeding the hood, you can't even feed yourself, gang. Like, nah.
All right, true.
I understood. This label talk, you don't understand. We have this debate a lot. Hey, brother, what would you do with 500K if I gave you, like, all the time? So I would definitely sign, but the whole idea was like rooted in my influence, the pressure, ignorance, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I would sign, but I typically am entrepreneurial. To answer your question, I typically just move like a CEO. I execute. I'm not a boss, I'm a leader. I'm a boss when I don't need to be a leader, but I'm typically a leader. I would go in and dig my hand in the dirt. And y'all can follow, and they typically do, but if y'all not gonna do it, I'm still gonna do it. The last show, I did the photo shoots. I took the pictures. I didn't call no photographer like, hey, yo, can you, I did it. I'm not gonna wait on nobody. I execute. They come out nice. I edit. I do this. So it's like, the label stuff is like, I don't mind a good deal, you know? My ignorance and hearing what I'm hearing from lazy artists is letting me know like, oh, labels aren't good. But man, labels can get your song playing in China. It can get you touring in Russia. Not every deal is bad. Not every label is. So I'm learning stuff like that. It's just a mesh. I'm hearing managers talk about their artists like, I asked him to come to the stew and he'd rather hang with girls and do drugs. And I'm like, wow. So it really is like a tug of war with this whole independent label thing. Like, you know, you gotta have like a will. You almost have to be anti-label if you are independent, if that makes sense. It's not sweet or easy to be independent. It's not at all, you know. So it's a teeter, you know. So I'm open to both. I'm doing one of them right now. I'm independent right now.
Yeah.
But if the label tries to stop me from speaking or breathing, I'm walking out. I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
What inspires your fashion sense?
Inspiration. So I like that you said inspire, because I differ the words because they are different. Influence and inspiration. I see it like inspiration is more so something that motivates you to start or do something, to spark. And influence is something that helps continue something. Like Bryson Tiller wearing his hat like this. in the next music video, I'm like, man, that guy is so cool. I'm gonna wear my hat like this, just like him, and have no shame in giving him that prop. But inspiration is more so, I take a walk in the woods and I hear a sound from a bird or something. I'm like, wow, I just thought of a new beat. So what inspires me with fashion, one of my favorite designers was Virgil Abloh, R.I.P. You know, R.I.P. Bless up. But his inspiration was architecture and construction. I like that, but I kind of deviated more so to like royalty fused with like minimalism. And you see, if you know anything about fashion, you know that minimalism is the complete polar opposite of how royalty and very decorated and dressed up things were. The term is avant-garde, is that future fashion forward thinking and feeling, you know? So think about like a golden pattern crest and you're blinking, walking around looking like the man. Yet you have this simple layout of like a proper pant or shirt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a fusion of like, I love royalty.
Yeah.
I love like looking elegant. I love when you walk somewhere, oh, we know who that is. But I also love this like, I could put this on any day I want. That's my inspiration. It's like minimalism, that future like white wall, floor to ceiling window, looking out to the forest, like that just home quiet look. At the same time, that like elegant, like, it's me. I come in with the big robe. Like, it's such a weird fusion, but that's my inspiration. It's those two like lifestyles and mindsets, you know?
Okay, but my question is, are you thinking about delving into like making fashion, or like do you have your own brand right now?
I'm already...
Can you talk about it, or?
Yeah. This is kind of a heavy topic for me, bro. Kind of my soul, my heart.
Wait, why?
Because I got discouraged, man. Like, I had a brand, or have a brand. It's called Eternity Wear. At 17, I knew what I wanted. I sold out my first collection, screen printed t-shirts, you know, $100, 12 t-shirts, sell them out to your teachers and your friends. It's sold out. I'm seeing my shirt on people's Snapchats. I'm like, I ain't even sell it to this man. Like,
dang.
It was hard. It was dope. Like, and I had another guy, Haywood, working side by side. Like, he was selling shirts, I was selling shirts. And, you know, that's the come up. Sell shirts. That's the come up in high school. But I was, like, still avant-garde about it. I was still fashion forward about it. And I sold shirts. People were excited to spend that $25. Some people paid more. They tipped me for a shirt, you know? Excuse my language. But, you know, so I'm like, wow, like, I got discouraged over time because I made a logo and I love my design. I created my own shape called the Circle Hex. Like, I made patterns. I went to textile class. I was into that, you know? But there was this other brand named Infinity Wear. And I'm like, why would they even, like, I kind of felt like they were biting. I don't want to make that reach. You know, I got to stretch before that one. You know, I can't. But I low-key felt like Eternity Wear, that's too close to home.
Right.
So and they're popping. They got Young Thug wearing it. I'm like, what? Like, and the person who actually made that brand is my best friend's cousin. It was too close. I don't know. It was just too close to home. I don't want to make that claim, but it was just too close to home. I'm like, yo, like, I started this shit at 17. Like, what is going on?
Wait, do you want me to make the connection for you?
You can make the connection. I just don't want to make that claim because it's really heavy. So I kind of got discouraged, and I was like, man, I don't know, man. And then the name itself, it's 2 words. I want one word. I just kind of, but I was designing. I was designing my ass off. I will tell you that.
And so how do you balance designing while also creating music? Like,
took a break.
Oh, you took a break.
I got a sketchbook for everything. I should have brought them. I got on the bone, on the spine. I'd be like music mapping. The next sketchbook, fashion design. The next one, home design. Yeah. And I love design. I love rulers. I love alignment. I love all of that. I love garment draping, all that. But I don't balance it anymore. I used to have this like a alarm clock system. Oh, 3 p.m. design, 4 p.m. make music, like that. in my apartment. I don't balance it anymore. I don't do it anymore. I just kind of design whenever I get inspired or feel like drawing a shirt or two. And every time someone sees it, they'll, oh wow! But I'm never fazed by their marvel. I just, because I'm back in the dumps right now with the fashion, but it's gonna kick back up.
Right.
It's gonna kick back up. I got some things.
So what is your what's your ultimate aspiration with the music?
My ultimate aspiration, I was asking myself this the other day, but I definitely talked to myself in my core. And, aspiration. My ultimate aspiration, goal, incentive, motive is definitely to inspire people. It's like there are a lot of first and second gen creatives. They definitely operate differently, but we still want one thing. And you asked about music specifically, right? Because this is more than a job. It's a legacy. I could work at a restaurant or wherever, a warehouse, for 10 years, quit the last day of the year for the 10th year, and I'd be remembered as a worker. But I could do music for 10 years. Somebody's gonna hear about me. Somebody's gonna like me. Somebody's gonna love me. Someone's gonna hate me, like someone's gonna get inspired, start their career because of me. So my aspiration is to continue that and kind of just get people in their zone, like to just make them like this image of just calm, just being in that headspace where nobody can mess with you, regardless of meditation. That's my goal with music. You hear that and you feel like a superhero, like you just took the pill or something. You just powered up. Like, that's my goal. Inspire, motivate, influence, impact, and just have you like wow. Even if you don't make music, I want you to just, bro, I'm about to go to work today and make this place look like a bundle of flowers is sprouting from each corner. Like, I need people to open their minds when they listen to me, So that's my aspiration, just to inspire, just to make people bloom.
For someone watching this who aspires to do what you do, what advice would you have for them?
The advice I'd have for you is don't let nobody talk you out of nothing. Go for it. They're going to call you a narcissist, a rockhead, a tyrant, all sorts of things. People are going to try to diminish your character. Favorite word is gaslight. Y'all going to love this one. Gaslight you, make you seem like you're crazy, unrealistic. I'm talking parents. I don't mean no hater from Instagram. I mean people that's right there. What you got to do is become bulletproof. That's my advice. The Bulletproof Baby. So my slogan is came out of Grady, Nigeria made me, child of God, that's the Bulletproof Baby. Make the connection, My mom used to pray over me. Oh, no weapon formed against you shall prosper in Jesus' name, right? So I thought about it one day. I'm like, child of God, right? And no weapon shall prosper. You're a child. You're bulletproof. And that's why I came up with the Bulletproof Baby. And then the whole slogan, and it's become an inside joke now. People send memes of them in the gym, becoming bulletproof. Like, they will play like that wherever I go. Like, oh, this is bulletproof. Now that's bulletproof. Like, they play like that. But my advice is to become bulletproof emotionally, mentally. I'm not saying don't grow. Take the challenge, take advice. Fail. Prove people right and then wrong. Become bulletproof. That's my advice to people who are trying to do what I do. Even if it's not super creative, just become bulletproof.